Welcome to Northbound, Alaska, the Trucking Files, a podcast where we talk to haul road drivers, both past and present, to carry on the knowledge and experience of one of the toughest roads on Earth. On this episode, Aaron and Nathan sit down with Kevin Lowery. Kevin grew up in Oregon ranching and logging, came to Alaska in the mid-1990s, started driving the haul road in 1997. With almost 30 years of experience on the haul road alone and almost 2.5 million miles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Kevin Lowery, the specialist. Well, yeah, how's the tablecloth looking, Kevin?
A little wrinkled, but I guess it'll be okay.
Yeah, we've been working on that. It's been taking us a little while to get things set up here today, but this is kind of a last-minute thing we're doing here, this podcast.
It's the first guy we snuck in here in the dark where nobody could see him come in the building.
Very good idea.
We're here with Kevin Lowery. Now, Kevin's been a huge supporter of this haul road and this haul road community for a long time. You've been up there for probably 20-plus years, I would say.
1997.
Okay, so almost 30 years. And you've probably had a couple fun times sliding backwards before on some hills. And
Once.
yeah, just once.
Yeah, it was a good enough ride for me. I didn't want to do that no more.
Yeah. So, Aaron probably doesn't know where to go with this, but
I'm thinking of all the time sliding.
yeah.
We probably better get me high marking you on the shelf out of the way.
You mean the night we met?
Oh, let's go into that. What were the conditions like that night?
I don't remember. It was dark. I don't know, just a standard night, but I think you were pulling a lowboy, weren't you?
I had a Alaska Clean Seas boat on. It was pretty light, but it was a 12 wide. I remember the pilot car. He never ever said anything. And we got up there, he's like, ooh, it's kind of slippery up here. Oh, man, I made it above the bench, but you high marked me.
You were clear up in just below the cut, or in the cut. I didn't realize you had a pilot car. And you were out chaining up, and you were over in the southbound lane. And I was doing just fine till I come up around the corner and seen you there. So then Spud came down around the corner southbound.
Yep.
And I hollered and said, hey, can you get stopped? And he didn't say nothing. So then I backed out of it. And about then he said, yeah, I'm okay here. And that was all she wrote. It wouldn't hook back up.
I never heard that part of the story, but I remember Spud there. It was like I'd been by myself all night, and there's people everywhere. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
No, I was loaded good. It wasn't a problem until I backed out of it because I didn't want to have a head-on or have him crash into you. And once I backed out of it and slowed down, it was no picking it back up. But I was able to high mark you, so.
So somebody actually caught me spun out.
Yeah.
Kevin, can you come just a little closer to that microphone, please?
Sure.
We want to hear your voice.
Okay.
People want to hear your voice.
Yeah, I don't even remember what year that was. Was I owner-operator or in a company truck? Or?
Yeah, you had that show truck, that show Freightliner with...
Oh, yeah.
Show Freightliner, is that a joke or is that serious?
That's my opinion. Kevin's always had nice stuff.
Must have been late 90s then.
Yeah, I think it was winter 2000.
Okay.
I think. But
yeah,
I remember that you had there's a newspaper article of your truck up there at Linden and Prudhoe forever hanging on the wall. You remember that newspaper article?
Might have been the one. There was a photographer rode with me and a interview guy rode with Trapper and went north with us. And so all the pictures were my truck and the interview that was in the paper was Trapper. So
that's right. I just remember seeing your truck on there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was a pretty nice truck.
Yeah, I seen that a few years ago in Anchorage down there. I don't know, belly dumper or somebody had it down there. So
yeah, I think they pulled the sleeper off of it, and it's a day cab belly dump truck down there or something now, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Probably. How did you get into trucking? Was it a family thing, or how'd that happen?
No, I grew up, farming and ranching type stuff. And then when I graduated from high school, I moved over the mountain to Central Oregon, went to work on a ranch, and went to college for a couple of years. And figured out college wasn't for me. So then I went millwrighting for a couple of years and didn't like that. So then I went back to work on another ranch, and he had a trucking company over in the valley. And we mainly just put up hay, had a few cows, but there wasn't much to do in the wintertime, so he stuck me in a truck. And I remember we went over the mountain, went to the DMV. I don't know why the lady gave me a license, but she did. Then went down to his yard and got a truck, went back over the hill. And next day, I remember I went down to Lapine and loaded up a load of wooden posts and headed, I think, up over 58. And you couldn't really say the snow was coming over the hood because it was a cab over, but it was up to the headlights, so I got educated right away. But yeah, we ran the highway down there for, 2 or 3 years maybe, and then started having kids and wanted to stay home, so then I started logging and hauled logs for, till 94 probably, and then had an opportunity to come up here, bought a log truck and came up here to haul logs out of Toke and Delta and down into Valdez on a 3-year contract. And then what was it?
How did that come about? How did you hear about Alaska? Was it just an ad?
A friend of a friend. Did you ever know Dwayne Emmert?
That sounds familiar.
He was hauling logs down out of Lapine for I forget who. And a friend of mine ran into him and said, "Hey, how you been?" And he said, "Oh, I'm good. I'm heading for Alaska." He had saw an ad in a logging newspaper that they were looking for trucks up here. And he headed up here, and then the guy I knew headed up here. And it was supposed to be a round-the-clock deal, so he wanted me to come drive for him, and then that fell through. And he said, "Well, maybe you should just buy a truck." And so I bought a truck and headed north. So, But
did you bring the family and all that up with you when you came, or how'd that?
About a week later, the father-in-law brought the wife and kids up, had 2 kids, and she was pregnant. And he drove them up in a pickup and a camper. I had been up here for a couple of weeks with the log truck. And so, but then I ended up down in Chittenden for the winter, and she was in Toke for the winter, and it was 70 below for weeks. And she didn't leave.
You're still married.
So she must going to be stick around. So, yeah.
Well, I guess cold to tell.
So talk about the first time you met her or seen her. Where was that at?
In a drive-through in my hometown.
In a drive-through?
In a drive-through.
Like a diner burger joint? Or
Yep.
Was she a waitress, or was she flipping burgers, or did you?
No, she was running the register, just drive-through, fast food.
Wow.
So I had moved over to Central Oregon, and then I was back home visiting Mom and ran into her in a drive-through. And rest is history. 3 kids and 30-some years later.
Do you remember what you bought, what you ate that night? What was it? So what did you say? Hey, want to go out sometime, or how'd that go about?
Something like that.
She probably asked you.
She probably knows.
We can move forward. It sounds like you don't want to go into all that. I was just curious,
But yeah, then after the 3 years hauling logs was up, didn't really have a plan, so they were talking about getting going again. So we took a few months off, and then we got hungry, and then we heard the Dalton Highway was where to go make money. So I stuck an old sleeper on the back of a brand new log truck that I think the sleeper was off at Kenworth, and I put some Peterbilt fuel tanks on it, and it was a new Freightliner log truck, but it looked like a hunk of junk because when you're broke, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So then we ran that north for 6-8 months till my new truck came in, and so.
So what part of Oregon were you guys logging at? Was it like a western part or
Central?
Central. Okay.
Central and eastern.
Central and eastern. Okay.
I grew up in Western Oregon in Newport,
okay.
But then the day I graduated from high school was the day I turned 18, and the day after I moved east. I'd had enough rain.
Yeah. So that's where you learned how to chain up trucks and all that, was logging.
The first night I hauled a load of wooden posts over 58, I learned how to chain up. But yeah, logging down there was some jobs where we were chaining up 3 or 4 times a day. And so every trip into the woods, you're chaining up, maybe hanging drag chains, and Guy gets pretty good at chaining up when you're doing it
Yeah.
5 days a week, three,
Yeah,
4 times a day.
No big deal when you come up here and it's like, yeah, throw chains. That's what we did back home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. So, yep.
Cool. And then so
It seems like it's going the other way now. I used to be able to, chain up in 3 minutes, and, now it's getting down where it's like 13 minutes.
yeah.
Nobody told me about this getting old stuff.
Yeah.
I've been noticing that myself. It's like I don't chain up near as much as I used to, but it's like you kind of know when you need to and when you don't. But I guess that's part of the experience part of that, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've always played it like, not really if I can make it, because that's the fun of it, is trying to make it, but chain up if it's going to stick there or not if you don't make it.
exactly.
If you're not going to stick, chain up whether you need to or not.
Yep.
So that was my one slide back down the hill on the knob experience. I knew better. Should have chained up.
What did you have for a load?
Well, for years I hauled, 12, 13 years? I hauled overnight LTL for Linden. And I was in a company truck. And that night I was running late because the truck was over in the shop at, back Peterbilt used to be, across the other side of town over there from where it is now. But it seems like they were putting a turbo on it and something else. So I had got out of town late. But that old Herb used to load our LTL there at Linden. And we had those reefers. They were a 2-axle group, and there was a lift axle right behind the landing gear. He knew how to load them. When you pick that lift axle up, you're about 50,000 on the drivers and about 15 on the trailer. He knew how to load that LTL. And I'd got the truck out of the shop and got it headed north, and it was, 30, 32 degrees, snowing freaking hard. And I got to the knob. You stop and chain up, but we're good. We got 50,000 on the drives. And I went up the knob, and everything was cool till I got to that sign up there where it says to turn left a little bit. And that's where the line blew off the turbo that they just put on.
Oh, no.
I went from 30 miles an hour going forward to 30 miles an hour going backwards. You know where that road to the gravel pit is at the bottom?
Yeah.
That's where I got stopped.
Oh,
And,
man.
once you spin out, get over in the ditch. I took off sliding, and I should have turned it and put it off the road, but instead, I chased it down the hill, and about the time you shift into the high side trying to catch it, you realize it's too late to go in the ditch because you're going way too fast.
You kept it in the road, though, huh?
I kept in the road. I was down at the bottom. Me and Benny were just talking about it. He said he met me right after that, and he said I was still about this.
Your whole body was probably shaking, huh?
I don't remember exactly. I remember I met Skip Prince over by the pump station, and he said, "How's the hill?" And I said, I have no idea. So, yeah, that's really the only time I remember sliding back, but it was not much fun.
You got blown off the road, though, one time.
That was the only time I was off the road. That was on Connection. So I heard it was blowing real hard, and I checked with a few guys, and they're like, "Oh, you'll be okay. It's not that bad, but it's blowing pretty good." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I had an empty skin van. And when I went around that corner at the bottom of Connection southbound with an empty skin van, over on top of the pipeline was that helicopter that flies up and down the pipeline. And he was standing up on his freaking nose going along there. And I'm like, this ain't good. And right after I come out of the corner and headed up, it blew the trailer off the road over down where that culvert is. And to this day, I don't know. I probably should have slammed on the brakes, but I grabbed a few gears and drug it a ways, and then the truck turned sideways, and then pretty quick we went over the bank backwards. And all I remember was seeing the end of the hood come up over as it fell into the bottom of the canyon. So
Did it actually tip you over then?
I was laying on its side in the bottom.
Wow. I remember when that happened. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was laying on its side down on the bottom of that gully, and I climbed up out of there. And, the ride got terrifying after that because I rode to town with Teresa in her pilot truck. So then it really got scary, but... But, I remember looking down there going, man, you were a good truck, but I guess that's it. It got to town, and I went and got some stuff out of it, and they took it over to the shop, and it had a ding in the air cleaner and a broken CB antenna. So they knocked the ding out of the air cleaner, and we went trucking. So
on the knob that night, did you just put that oil line back on?
I'm trying to remember. It wasn't the main, air-to-air boot. There was another airline to those turbos on those Cummins back then, and it was some kind of airline that, like for the dump wastegate or something. I don't remember what it was, but when it came off, it immediately lost all boost and just stopped.
Was that a Freightliner or one of the Peterbilts?
No, it was would have been an 06 Pete.
Okay.
With a Cummins in it. Lyndon had bought 2 of them. They gave them to me and Shanky. They were owner-operator spec that they had bought because they were short on trucks and they were white, so they painted a green stripe down them. And it was whatever the 06 Cummins, I don't remember what line it was, but there was some kind of airline on the turbo.
Yeah.
And it wasn't tight and it had unscrewed. Yeah, I just popped the hood, screwed it back on, and we were good to go. But I went ahead and chained up before I tried it again.
You didn't slide that night, though, huh? Or
That was the night I slid back down the hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, those trucks run good. I remember you were so excited to get those trucks that big power.
Yeah, I had big power back when I was an owner-operator, but then you're in company truck for a while, and yeah, they were, I want to say 565s. So,
Yeah.
Yep, they were good trucks.
Yeah, I was thinking about back when I first met you, were running with Dwayne and Richard all the time, it seemed like. And
Yep.
it was...
Yeah, that was kind of when I quit being an owner-operator. When we lost him, it was kind of took the wind out of my sails, because we ran, together. You told me a few years later that you never wanted to meet me up there because every time you did, you just kind of went,
Yeah.
Because Dwayne and I were bumper to bumper seeing who had more power for years. So,
Yeah, that was a tough...
Yep. Well, I think you were there that night, weren't you?
Yeah, Phil and I were there, and
Yeah.
another friend of ours, Tony, we
Yep.
dug him out of the snow.
Yep, that was a rough deal. So,
Yeah, that was... Yeah, it was tough because you guys were always together, so...
yep. But I don't remember, what year was that?
That
You
would have
remember?
been 02, Christmas 02, Christmas Eve.
Talking about Dwayne when
Yeah.
the avalanche got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve.
I unloaded at Dowell I unloaded at 4 o'clock, and we were supposed to leave town at midnight in Dwayne's motorhome, and I was a few minutes late, but I wasn't too late. But it was like, that was December 23rd. Man, I've had a lot of bad things happen on.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve, and
Yeah.
so yeah. Then it was 6 months later. I went in the company truck, and quit the owner operating.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you guys were always together.
Yep.
You had the really bright lights though back then, right?
I don't know if Dwayne got those first or you did them, Hellas. Because it seemed like you had 2 sets of them on your truck. But man, you could...
Yeah, you can see for miles and miles and miles. But yeah, I actually had them. The kids got them now, and we got a bunch of replacement parts. He's fixing to...
You still have them?
Yeah, he's fixing to rebuild them and put them on a pickup. So, yeah.
Over 20 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, they've been hanging out in a box in the shop for a long time. So, they haven't been on a truck since the Freightliner. No, I did have them on the front of my pickup for a few years, I think. But, yeah, they don't make lights like that no more.
Man, those lights were amazing. It's like, man, somebody could afford those lights. They were rich. I knew how rich you were. You had 2 sets of them. It's like, I want to be a rich owner operator.
Yeah, well, you stuck it out a lot longer than me, so maybe buying lights isn't the way to go. What do they say? Chrome don't get you home?
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. So
you never, the Knob was pretty much the only hill you ever had a crazy adventure on, huh? You never had an adventure on 2.5 or?
second trip on 2.5. First trip I come up here, it was probably December I started. And a couple of my friends down there from when we were hauling logs kind of got me in up here. And it back then it was tough when you were an outsider. And Dale Carlson, do you remember him? He was a manager over at Carlisle, and he gave me a shot. And the first load, I had a step deck with like 4 pallets of drilling mud on the neck and a truck on the deck. So, I was nothing but driver weight, and went to Prudhoe Bay and delivered the truck and delivered the mud and loaded up a backhaul and came up. Ain't nothing to this. What's all this talk about? Then do you remember Carlisle's 3-axle bulkers? That was trip 2. That was when I found out you had to go to the low side on 2.5 mile. And if you don't do it soon enough, you're stopped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a fine night, but it was just.
And did you stop on 2.5 mile that night?
Yeah, when I spun out, I did. Got out and chained up.
Oh, but the truck stayed there at least.
Right? Oh, yeah. It was a good night. It was just not knowing second trip, good load first trip. Not realizing just how steep things were. And those 3-axle little short bulkers, they were always tail heavy, and so it just wasn't a good night.
Did you follow somebody your first trip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with the guys that I had hauled logs with down there. So.
Okay, they had been up here a little bit before, right?
Yeah, and they had both been up here in the 80s or whatever.
Okay, so they were
back in the day.
They were telling you, okay, here's a hill, there's this hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember I had a little notebook, and I just took notes, when I'd get to a hill, kind of, a little note of how steep it was. And, so then once I don't remember stuff that good. I don't have a lot of, where every mile marker is and whatnot. It takes me a while to learn it. So I had a little notebook, and I was like,
You probably still have that notebook.
I wish I did. I think it's in a briefcase, and I don't know where that briefcase is. I remember I had a brown hard-sided briefcase, and I'm sure that notebook is in there. But who knows? It's probably buried at the landfill or something.
Man, you could sell that notebook for a couple $100 after this episode.
It had a lot of notes in it. Yeah, because I only ran with them, for half a dozen trips, and then I was on my own a lot. That was back when the first ice roads out to Newitsit. And I remember I had to go out there a lot. And them guys were pulling tankers. And
that was late 90s?
97.
97.
Yep, 97 into 98 there.
Okay.
Yep.
That's funny. I remember you out there at Compare too with Lyndon out there dropping that A&B warehouse. Seemed like you'd go out there quite a bit and drop trailers out there.
Yeah, when I was owner-op.
Yeah.
Went out there a lot. Usually company driving, it was all just to the warehouse, LTL. But back then, owner-op, we had to deliver everything.
Yeah.
You'd have 4, 6, 8 drops all over the frickin' oil field. You'd drive all night and spend all day delivering and trying to get done in time to grab a backhaul so you could make that extra $100 and then scramble home for the next one. And so
I remember we got to Prudhoe one time. I can't remember. You had 2 man lifts on there, and you had to unload one and go deliver one. But we got there at like 6 in the morning. I remember there was another time we were over there by Coldfoot, like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "What happens?" Or you got a flat tire. I was like, "Well, what happens? You get a double barrel?" He's like, "I don't know. It never happened before, or whatever." And I remember I had that big green trailer, that Dakota, that old Linden 10 wide stretch.
Oh yeah.
I had them 2 spares up there, but we got up there by Chandelar and it's like, well, I guess I got my double barrel, so we took them, and they were low pro tires. You remember that? We got up there and
really.
Oh, that was probably 25 years ago, but
Yeah.
I remember we pulled them tires off and we put that on that van, and the van's kind of leaning because them tires are so little out there. But I remember we got to Prudhoe about 6 in the morning, and we took those tires off, put them back on my trailer, and you got some out of the warehouse, it seemed like. But
You guys were using those old pneumatic impacts for that?
Oh yeah.
no, I think it was hand tools back then.
Yeah, break them loose with a breaker bar and spud bar, and then get out the air gun, but you didn't have enough air to break them loose.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you were in a company truck then, so I don't remember. I don't know if you had an air tool or not.
Yeah, I packed it for a long time. I don't know.
You must have. But yeah, you had to break everything by hand. It's pretty easy nowadays.
Isn't that when you had that 4-to-1 tool or whatever?
No, I got that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty handy too. It's for breaking that stuff loose.
Yeah, I've got one of them over at the shop, but still kind of a workhorse.
Yeah.
Especially by yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing Shanky out there by pump 2 at 6 o'clock in the morning. He's been out all night. He's my dad's age. He's out there. He's got a 10 wide low boy with a 80,000 pound spool on. He's out there changing a tire, and it's like, man, it's hard to find people that want to work like that anymore.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
Yeah. Well, you could either change it or sit there. There wasn't anybody going to come along and do it for you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's different.
but yeah, I don't know. I remember one time I was up against a guardrail on the pass. Well, I wasn't touching it, but I was close enough that we were done. And that's really the only other one I had I don't know. Remember I had 3 pilot cars, and we were real tail heavy. It seems like that would have been fall of '98. I think they were hauling a drill rig up there, and it was in the fall, and the shelf was good. It was still dirt, but I was going to chain up for the pass, and somebody said, "Oh, it's good. They just worked it." And I'm like, "I'm 20,000 pounds tail heavy. I'm going to go ahead and chain up here." And they're, "Oh, you don't need no change. You'll be fine." I'm like, "I'm 20,000 pounds tail heavy, and it's snow up there." No, they got it all drug off there. So you're good to go. Well, when you're hauling heavy stuff, you don't listen to people. You freaking chain up when you know you need to chain up. Well,
Yeah.
pilot cars didn't say nothing, and I got up in the switchback and went, "This ain't good." So I tried to get out of the switchback, and we made it. And got just above the switchback and kind of rolled to a stop and hung a set of chains on and didn't move. Hung another set of chains on, and all I could do was walk sideways. Could not go forward. Back up, go ahead. And I just kept walking sideways till I was parked next to the guardrail. And
Oh, wow. You had to wait for smelt?
yeah, they brought a blade up, and all they had to do was pull me up 100 yards and turn me loose. And we went over the hill. But when you feel you need to chain up, you better chain up.
It's a whole lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So even with 2 sets, you couldn't make it.
No, it was when you're hauling oversized, tail heavy. It's a different ball game than just regular stuff. So no, it absolutely would not move an inch. It just walked sideways.
That reminds me of that Mike Scheidler story going up Happy Man when he had that was a D9 on there.
Yeah.
He was just hoping he could get up there.
Yeah.
2 sets on.
No, you get all that weight stopped and tail. Well, you did it for years, and it's just you got to do stuff different. So.
That stuff, if you can keep it moving, you can make it. But to try to get something like that started on the hill,
Ain't
you
happening.
need some help.
Yep.
It's and it's too easy to do it on the bottom, and so much less stress.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I was going to do, but I just listened to the wrong guy. And
that's a scary thing. The pilot cars didn't say anything like, "Hey, there is snow up here." That would have been nice.
yeah, there was. I'll tell you about it sometime. There's a little more to it.
Did you ever have any of the old timers chew you out for anything up there?
Oh yeah.
What was one of their names Joe File?
No,
Okay, good.
I don't.
What?
I remember a couple chewings out,
Well,
when you're doing something silly, but I
yeah.
don't specifically remember
Okay.
him. No, I remember like one guy 2 different times had spoke his mind, and I taught me to do it a little different in that spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was back then. You listened to the guys that had been up there.
Yeah.
So nowadays it seems like most people don't know who's been up there.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody up there anymore hardly.
Yeah.
Because I don't go up there very often, when I have to, but I don't know that many people. And my radio only works for about 100 yards, so I really don't learn to know anybody.
So when did you first start doing like towing and recovery? When was the first time you started doing stuff like that?
Maybe 17, I think. So 9 years ago.
Was that for Ben's towing or?
No, I was pulling tanker for Colville, and Ben sold out to, he got ready to retire and sold to Colville, and I kind of saw that and looked like a good time to me, and get off the road for, I'm still on the road, but I'm turning 30,000 miles a year instead of 120,000 miles a year. So
Yeah.
And you're not doing the same thing all the time.
No, everyone's different. Get some exercise, and I mean, there's parts of it that wear you down after a while. The phone rings 24 hours a day. You never know when you're going to work, but
Yeah.
it's a challenge and not so much driving. So, but yeah, I haven't been doing it that long. 7, 8, 9, 8 years, 9 years. So,
Yeah.
You've been to quite a few schools for that, though, haven't you? To kind of learn, because even if you have the common sense to do that kind of stuff, you still have to learn some of that, don't you?
yeah, I mean, from the time I was a kid, I mean, growing up in high school, I had a 2-wheel drive Datsun pickup, and we spent our life in the woods. Like, definitely needed 4-wheel drive. So you learn how to do recoveries young and, on the farm and ranch and everything else. But, yeah, I went to, where did I go? Kansas City, I guess, and did some training. And then a year or two later, I went to Arvada, Colorado, and did some training. But it kind of teaches you the, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the geometry and the resistance. And so when you pull up and look at something, you know how many lines you're going to need and, what it's going to, more than just hooking on and yarding on it,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you don't do that right, you're going to break something.
Yeah, you can tear a lot of stuff up. But the school didn't pertain that much to Alaska because things are different down there. But it does teach you the, the resistance and the geometry and different way of doing things and different equipment to do it with. And a lot of the stuff we have now, the rigging and whatnot is different than what Ben had because, he was always self-taught and this is what you use, so it's what he always used. And, I mean, nowadays there's different stuff and makes it easier, and a lot of stuff makes it better. Like we're running synthetic line now instead of wire rope, and
That's really nice at 50 below.
oh, that wire rope will freaking wear you out at 50 below.
Oh, you're changing your gloves all the time because it's so cold.
Oh, and it pulls so hard, and you'd be hours getting the line spooled out, just tears your shoulders up. And the synthetic, you can grab 2 lines in one hand and head down the road. It's just a world of difference. So.
I wonder what the weight difference is on that, because that's weight-wise, that's got to be huge, huh?
200 feet of it in a cardboard box you can pick up and hold with one hand, and 200 feet of wire rope will stand a skid steer on its nose. So it's a big difference.
That'll really save your shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever break any cables by trying to yank on somebody?
Do you work for OSHA or?
No, I'm just curious because we were talking to my Uncle Sean, and he did some towing and recovering with, small trucks down in Kenai back in the 70s and 80s,
Well, he helped Ben out, too, though.
Oh, yeah, he did some, he helped Ben out, too.
No, I've never broke a wire rope. I've broke the synthetic line.
Yeah.
Sheave head turned the wrong way and snapped one, and I don't remember. One time on the finger, I think it was, I did something silly and broke one. But mainly what breaks is what you're hooked to.
Yeah.
Or a chain, you've got something rigged with. We use a lot more synthetic now than chain. But I did learn early on that D-rings don't even think about looking at them. Like a lowboy that's got D-rings on it.
They
Don't even, they're for tying a load down. Do not pull on a D-ring. You see a D-ring on the back of a truck, don't hook on it. Those things are some kind of cast metal that blow in half very easy. So.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that that breaks, not really the line. The winch stalls out long before the line breaks if everything is, good to go.
And you're usually setting yourself up so something like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Where you get in a bind or something.
Yeah, you figure out, what the pull's going to be, what the resistance is going to be, and let's say you figure something up and it's 60,000 pounds. Well, so you figure on a 60,000 pound pull, you need 4 lines. Well, stick 5 on it. Nothing ever goes wrong. But if you stick 3 on it, you can probably get it done. But
You might not.
never can tell. So, yeah, just more lines to load and rig for success the first time, and it saves a lot of time. So,
Yeah.
and nothing's breaking, and so. But things like D-rings will take your head off when the snatch block comes flying at you.
Yeah.
So.
When I used to move them cranes there for Jim McBride, he would not let me use those because he had them rip off too, just moving them cranes around. I don't know what it is about them D-rings, but they're...
Yeah, the part that's welded on the trailer is fine. It's the D-ring itself blows apart.
Yeah.
And they're not good. So, even a lot of guys will hook onto a pintle hitch, like on the back of a trailer. There's some that you can. Some of them, the latch kind of swings out and the whole thing swings around from underneath, sort of. Those are okay. But the ones that have a lid on them, don't even think about using those because that lid will blow open. And when you're pulling, if you've got any kind of an upward pull, you're pulling right on that lid, and it'll blow apart. If you absolutely have to use it, you got to chain it down somehow. But for the most part, wrap a frame rail, don't. Those are scary. They're almost as scary as the toe pins, like Kenworth toe pins that slip into a front bumper. Those things are, I've broke a pile of them.
Yeah.
They are junk.
Yeah.
So,
I like the old style toe pins, like on them Peterbilts that are bolt right to the front bumper, right to the frame and all that.
Yeah.
yep.
So how big or what's that machine rated for that you guys have now? That the 3-axle, the Tridem.
The two 3-axle ones are 50 tons.
Okay.
They're rated for 100,000.
Nice.
Fully retracted.
Now that's at warmer temperatures. When it's cold, it's different, isn't it?
We don't go out when it's cold. 30 degrees, we stay home.
Well, you stay home. You send somebody else out, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah. I think I know.
But
that
yeah,
guy.
things definitely get brittle when it gets cold. I mean, it gets down to 40 below, and it's, emergency recovery only. I mean, if the road's blocked, you do what you got to do. But if there's something in the ditch, you're going to wait till 20 below because, stuff gets very brittle when it gets cold. So, and the hydraulics don't work very good. And once we get down to 20 below, 30 below, you can't freeze pull the winches anymore. Because if you can get them released, they won't re-engage. And so these newer ones seem a little better, but if you've seen a blowed up picture of one of what that freeze pull actually is, it's not good in the cold. So, things like that get tough. And so, but yep, the cold definitely makes a difference.
Have you had to chain up this new truck yet?
Yeah.
Is that kind of a pain in the butt?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you lay your chains down on the ground and drive onto them and then hook them?
Oh yeah. Isn't that how you're supposed to do it? No, we actually, a lot of the time, do something that no truck driver on the haul road should ever do. We have super singles, which have cross links on every side link, basically, because all we're trying to do is stay on the road.
Yeah.
Like, that wrecker I'm running is 40,000 pounds on the driver's empty. And when you got 12-wheel drive with 40,000 pounds and no trailer, you don't need to chain up.
Yeah.
But you do to stay on the road. Mm-hmm. So we use those singles, and they're a lot easier on that wrecker body. But if you're going to pull anything, then you got to put 3-railers on, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But we've got hydraulic stiff legs, so you can pick the back up and give yourself a lot more room.
Okay, I kind of figured that, but
yeah, it gives you a little more room. But
I was kind of joking about laying them down there for the people listening.
yeah,
That takes a little longer to make that happen.
But yeah, I mean, we chain up a fair amount, but usually, like, for working on the side of a hill so you don't come sliding down the hill sideways.
Yeah.
And to hold you on a hill, a single's fine, but a single doesn't work to go up the hill. I was reminded of that probably 3 weeks ago when it first snowed. I was up, I don't know, you go up Chino Hot Springs a little ways past Hot Springs Gas, and then you turn left, and there's a road that goes up the side of the mountain straight up the hill. And there was a truck up there that had spun out and slid back down into the trees. And I went up there and we hung a set of them singles on and went up there and winched him out of the trees. So then I had the roadblock behind me, and then we couldn't get going. So then I hung another set. The next ones on the rack were another set of super singles, and we hung them on and still couldn't get going. Well, it's exactly what happens. We were just digging a trench where the single is, and then the inside tire is sitting on the ground, and you're not doing nothing. So we finally decided we'd do it like we're supposed to and put on a 3-railer and drive up the hill.
So that's probably why Ron Lawrence said you could stick those up your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. As far as on a truck, they're worthless. But to keep you on the road when you're trying to park on it sideways, they're fine.
Yeah.
So.
How many cross links are in those?
Same as a 3-railer.
Okay.
Well, actually, the ones I'm running now are the same as a 3-railer. We have some other ones that are called Grizzlies. When I ordered for the new truck, I ordered 2 sets, and they didn't get the right ones. They got Grizzlies instead of super singles. And they, the new 7 mils have them little bitty side rails. Those Grizzlies have a crosslink on every other one of those. Wow. So they've got a third again more crosslinks than a 3-railer. But they're hard to keep them on the tire. They want to fall off. But yeah, they will definitely hold you on the side of a hill if they'll stay on the tire.
Yeah, as long as you're not pulling. That's the difference. It's like
No, you try going and it don't work.
Yeah, singles probably work on ice or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're actually digging and you start digging through that snow, it's just like you said, you're sitting on.
Then the chain's not touching anything.
Yeah.
The chain's just sitting there spinning, and you're on your tire. So
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys that come up here with singles, it don't work.
It's a waste of time.
I mean, it had been 30 years since I had proved it to myself, but 3 weeks ago I proved it to myself again. They don't work.
Well, you have to. It's using the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
You know, which you reminded yourself of that.
Well, I've got one chain hanger due to lack of room, and guess what's on the bottom? The 3-reelers. So you use the first thing you grab. Well, it's not what you should do. Throw it in the ditch and get what you need. Yeah.
So how many years do you think you drove tractor trailer up there?
Oh, I don't know. Started in 97. Started doing this in 17. So what's that?
20 years.
20 years?
And do you miss driving truck and trailer back and forth?
No, not in the least.
Yeah.
I actually went to Prudhoe Bay last winter, and I went the winter before, and before that it had been 8 years since I'd been there. Because actually my last year, before I started towing, I ran out of Valdez pulling tanker and got off the road. And then I got off the road in 03 when I quit being an owner-operator. I ran the switch for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Is that when you were running? When did you run the switch? Trying to remember. Maybe it was after that.
That was 06, I think.
So it was about 3 years after I did it. So that was, didn't make no money, but that was one of the best jobs I ever had. I had, been an owner-operator 2-3 trips a week in the shop like this, working on the truck, and my kids were, I don't know, when were they born? 92, 93, 95, so they were 10 years old or something, and I barely even knew them because all I did was truck. And I went on the switch for a year and a half, and that's when I got to know my kids. So that was a good time down there.
Yeah.
So it's nice to break it up. I mean, if a guy was to run just 30 years straight on the haul road, I think he'd go insane. But, I mean, you've interviewed some of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure if I should say what I'm about to say, but let's go forward.
Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of people say how many miles they got, and I don't know. I'm somewhere between 2.5 million probably. I was 3 trips a week most of the time I was up there.
Yeah,
winter
so you
time.
got some time up there.
So.
And now you're hooking guys.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't been up there in 2 months, month and a half. So.
Yeah. It's kind of nice being at the house, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Being by the fire and
with
the
your feet
family.
kicked up.
Yep.
You got a lot of pictures with your feet kicked up.
Yep. Yep. But
Did you take many pictures up there?
not a lot. Not a lot. So.
I know I lost most of mine. That's frustrating.
Yeah, I brought you a few. So, but no, I don't have that many.
When you guys are towing, do you have to take pictures for insurance stuff or liability or anything like that, or no?
A little bit. I mean, if you see something that's obviously tore up that could look like you were going to tear it up, take a picture of it in case somebody ever says anything. But really, for the most part, nobody ever says anything.
Yeah.
I mean, once in a while, you'll bend a landing leg or, sometimes things are unavoidable. But for the most part, we don't do secondary damage.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of strange. On the Dalton, I mean, obviously there's big crashes where everything's totaled, but for the most part, it's, winch outs more than a recovery. Just people in the ditch, and it's no more than a bent bumper or a wrinkled fender or something like that. It's when 2 trucks collide, that is when the frickin' carnage happens. You get out a shovel and a broom to clean stuff up, but up there's actually not that much stuff bent up unless something crashes. But no, if you look through my phone, 90% of it is a picture of the company, a picture of the kind of truck, the truck number, and the license plate, just so I can do the paperwork.
Yeah.
And that's the only pictures I have, because from the beginning, I have never posted a picture of anything. And I think people have finally figured it out now, but in the beginning, everybody, well, where are you going? Who's in the ditch? What happened? And if the person that's in the ditch wants to tell you, they can tell you, but it's not my place to tell you who I'm going after.
Yeah.
If you're laying in the ditch up there, you don't want me telling everybody I meet on the road who did what.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I'm just going up north. The only time I say is I'll say where I'm going if I'm going to have the road blocked.
Yeah.
So you can kind of plan around that. But other than that, I don't take pictures. I don't post pictures.
Yeah.
I don't share pictures.
That's good.
It's not my place.
Yeah.
That reminds me of your first trip when we went up
I
there.
was just going to speak about that, Aaron. Now back up, Aaron.
That was his first trip?
That was
Well-
my first trip. Yeah, when you came by us there just north of Dietrich. I was getting tired. Aaron was sleeping
Oh,
in
when
the
we
back.
were visiting. That's not what I was thinking of.
Oh, what were you thinking?
Oh, no.
Another night.
Oh yeah.
You weren't there.
I wasn't there. That
But
was
I think you had been there.
that was an interesting trip. Yeah. Yeah, we had just switched trailers there at 1 mile.
But yeah, I don't remember that first night I talked to you. It's like,
You were going to get somebody, but Aaron was sleeping. We were team driving.
yeah.
And seeing these lights coming up behind me pretty quick, and I was like, man, who is this? And I'm like, hey, come around me if you want. You're like, oh, okay. And then Aaron's like, that's Kevin. He comes out of the sleeper.
You woke me up.
I caught you?
You caught him.
Yeah.
I drive slow.
Well, I was probably doing 45 because I was exhausted.
Oh, yeah, because I only do like 46.
Yeah,
It took a while to get you there.
Yeah, because I could see you way back there coming, but I was just, yeah, we were both teaming. And
I remember I just woke up. There's like, first thing I said, where are you going? Like, the question you hate.
Uh-huh. It's a question I get every time,
But it's like if you answered that, you'd probably answer that 50 times.
at least.
You know, and it's like that would get really, really old.
Plus, I'm not going to tattle on everybody.
you ever
Yeah.
thought about just saying somebody else's name, like you're going up to get Custer, you know,
There you go.
or Ron Lawrence, you know, some of these old names are like, who's that? Who's he drive for? Oh, he's a Alaska West driver. I don't know what he was thinking, but
Yeah. They'll be like, well, who is it? And I said, man, they didn't say. Oh, well, what company? Man, I don't remember. Well, where's it at? Crud, I think it's up north of Coldfoot somewhere.
This is the Parks Highway, right?
You know, that's actually happened. Do you know the highway numbers in Alaska?
Not really.
oh,
Me
like
neither.
number 3 or number 4. Or
Oh,
something
there's like
that.
a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 7.
Well, I
I
know the
don't-
Parks is 3, but I don't know what the Rich is.
I don't know.
Isn't the Rich like?
I don't remember. I actually made a note the other day because it was last winter or winter before. I believe it was Walmart. Dispatch had called, said they had a truck on highway such and such at such and such mile marker. It should have been down by Salcha. And I'm like, you know, Walmart, they run from the lower 48 to frickin' Walmart. And they told me the highway number, and I'm like, well, I don't know what that is, but they're down there by Salcha. I couldn't find them. Yeah, they were on the parks over there. So yeah, I got me notes of what the highway number is because these trucks from outside, they'll tell you a highway number,
That's funny. I don't. Yeah,
and I don't.
It must be on a map, huh?
it is on
Yeah,
the map.
yeah,
but
it's on the
like-
map.
only
I
know
looked
the-
it all
yeah.
up on Google Maps and blew it up and found the numbers, but
I've never looked at the maps. I don't even know the names of certain roads. You know, it's like I just lived here. You just start driving. But
yeah, it's all by, you know, Parks, Richardson, Steese, Elliott, Dalton. Trucks from outside use numbers.
Wow.
Yep.
Were you looking that up?
Yeah, I had to look it up there.
I almost want to say the number on the Rich that runs from Valdez goes all the way to Minto or Circle, and the name of the highway changes names 3 times, but it's the same number.
Really? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Kind of like you go from the Johansson Expressway to Geist Road. It's like to Chena Pump.
Uh-huh.
It's like what? What?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay. Interstate A, highways A1, A2, A3, A4.
Yeah, I read
1
it.
through 11. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it down if you want to know them. I didn't know it was that
people are probably
interesting.
Like, what are these guys doing? But I don't know.
We're always learning.
We're always learning.
Okay,
something.
the Dalton Highway.
Here we go.
Highway 2 is Steese and Elliott. 6 is the Steese past Fox, and Highway 11 is the Dalton. The Richardson, it's Highway 2 north of Delta and 4 south of Delta. The Alaska Highway is Highway 2. Parks Highway is Highway 3. Tote Cutoff is Highway 1. And I believe that's Highway 1 all the way from there and across the Glen
To Anchorage,
and into
right?
Anchorage is Highway 1.
Okay, I think I knew that too, but
I sure didn't until I got lost looking for Walmart.
yeah, you're on the Rich Highway. You're going to Valdez.
There you
or
go.
Fairbanks. You know.
Yep.
Wow.
Man, we learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. Kevin? No, should we cut it off right there? You want to talk about anything else? Yeah.
I'm good.
You got any other good stories about pulling guys out? You know, you got any funny ones?
Funny ones?
Yeah, come on. People need some laughter out there.
I don't know. I try to be cordial. You know, when I pull up, I always say, "Hey, bud, you can't park there."
You say it just like that?
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of a saying on it. But
Yeah.
no, like I say, I just go drag them out and send them on their way.
Do you have punch cards like every
You know,
9
I've been
pull-outs,
asked that
you
a
get
lot.
the 10th one free?
No,
Okay.
no, it's we've got one rate, and it doesn't matter if it's, you know, a foreign truck or a company truck or an owner operator. We try to keep it even. There's no different price cuts on anything,
Okay.
because it's just, you start doing the friendly discount and
That gets confusing.
yeah, and somebody's going to get their feelings hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So, plus, you know, I just work there. I mean, it's not my truck. I'm not paying the bills. I'm getting paid to do a job. So it's just,
It's all black and white.
yep.
Yep.
There's
Better keep it that
no,
way.
it's just, everybody pays the same. And you hear all kinds of different things though. You know, you hear about how expensive it is, but truck costs $1 million. You got to make something with it.
So how do you guys factor that? Is that by the mile you charge or?
Like if we're going up north, it's by the mile. Around here, it's by the hour.
Okay.
Going up north, there'd be a call out and mileage fee, and then recovery time, the time on the scene.
Yeah.
And then there's small fees, like if we're using flares, you know, we charge for the flares because we got to replace them. If we're using signs, we charge a little bit for a sign because they get ran over, you know, and just try to, you know, recoup the little costs.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know, it's mileage and call out and recovery time. But
So if somebody goes in the ditch, let's say up north of Coldfoot, and what's that typically cost? Like, is it 10 grand or?
no, like north of Coldfoot would be like 5.
Okay. Just to pull them out of the ditch. It's,
Yeah.
if they just drove off the road or something, or slid off 2.5 mile, it'd be,
Yeah.
you know, just.
You know, and it's actually, like I say, it sounds really expensive, you know, when you're in the ditch at Live and Good and how much it is. But if you take into account, like, what a load of freight to Prudhoe Bay costs, you know, what, say, you know, all these companies are making for a load to Prudhoe. If we go to Prudhoe and pick your truck up at the stop sign and drag it back to town, is less than a load of freight. So, not by much, but it's very comparable.
But like 2.5 mile, $5,000, or
No.
just throwing a pair of chains,
Yeah,
a set of
but
chains.
2.5 mile would be 2,000 probably, just
Well,
off
still.
the top of my head.
Yeah, okay.
But it would definitely be cheaper to chain up.
Okay, so it's worth it to maybe take 5-10 minutes to
Yeah.
throw a set. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It is funny though, thinking about guys complaining about that kind of a tow bill, but it's like they come up here and make that kind of money, especially they come from the States. It's like, well, how much were you making down there? It's like you're making a lot of money. There's a lot of liability and risk that comes with this. So when you're hauling a load, you're not gonna. Sometimes it's gonna cost you a little bit more for that trip.
Yep. You know, I suppose a lot of it, you know, as a guy, you know, breaks down, he doesn't see that he's getting anything for that money spent. In the end, he's back to town, and he doesn't have a bag of groceries that he would have got if he went to the grocery store, or they don't feel like they're getting anything for it, but it's a necessary service, so we do what we can do and try to make it pleasant.
Yep.
So
That's awesome.
yep.
So how many more years are you going to be doing this?
Don't know. Day by day.
What are you going to do when you grow up?
Go fishing. Like to spend a year or two traveling down south to go see the country.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 10 years retired traveling, but we went down last spring, saw 12 states, and way too short a time. But there's a world out there. I'd like to go see sometime.
That would be cool.
Maybe do that and just maybe do a little farming and
Maybe a little bit of,
a little land clearing and just kind of tinker around.
maybe help some old friends out, hauling their pickups onto a trailer with a snatch block.
Yeah. Yeah, we know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yep. That's, saying that, that's something that I miss being in the towing is I'm surprised the phone hasn't rang since we've been sitting here. It is so hard to go help somebody do something because then the phone rings and you got to leave. You go out to dinner, the phone rings, you got to leave. There's real tough sides of being on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But,
Yeah.
So that's the bad side of it. But
That's tough having to know when you get that call and have to process that of what you need to go do that, isn't it?
yeah,
Or, do I need 2 wreckers? Or, it's,
yep.
you have to have a little bit of experience to know how to do that.
Yeah, and the 2 record deal's tough too because, like, let's say there's a load in the ditch on 2.5 mile. Well, the customer's going to tell you they need 1 wrecker because they're thinking about what it's going to cost. When, in the end, 2 wreckers can have it out of there in an hour. 1 wrecker can have it out of there in 4 hours. 2 wreckers are cheaper than 1.
Yep.
But you got to pay to get them there. So you got to take into account how far north it is, how many miles you've got to travel. But yeah, there's that. I always ask, is it on a straightaway, in a corner? Up north, I've got a story about that it doesn't always work, but we can put a sign out in the middle of the road that says accident ahead or a road closed sign or put out some flares and, everybody kind of knows what's going on up there and you can sort of get stuff stopped. But, when you get a call like down on the Parks Highway, you got to find out if it's in a corner or on a hill or in a straightaway because you might need to find some pilot cars. Mm-hmm. Well, they're tough to find sometimes, and most of them I used to use aren't around anymore. So, there is stuff like that's tough. But it's necessary because people aren't real bright. It was probably 6 years ago, maybe more. There was a truck spun out on Mackey, slid down the hill, put his trailer in the ditch in the southbound lane, and he had the southbound lane blocked, but there was room to get by him in the northbound lane. Got the call, so, it's probably been there for a good 5 hours by the time I got there. It was back before Starlink or any of that. It could have been 6 or 8 hours, but everybody knew he was there. Well, I got there and it was a fog bank. It was all foggy on top of the hill. So I went to the top of the hill, put a road closed sign dead center of the road, put those little round orange pucks, that flash, all the way across the frickin' road. And I went back down the hill. It was a truck from outside. And no more got hooked onto him and started winching him out. And a truck came down the hill down out of the fog. And I ran up there and jumped in the truck and said, hey, I got the road blocked down here. You need to get stopped or put it in the ditch. What he instantly said, at Coldfoot, they told me there was a lane open. I didn't know what to say to that. It's like you literally had to drive over the frickin' flares. Wow. And I was just, by then, sometimes a guy gets mad. And I said, you better get stopped or get in the ditch, because if you get down here where I can reach you, I'm going to beat you to death with my cheater pipe. And I got back out of the truck to see which way I needed to dodge. And he got stopped, and I winched the truck out of the ditch, and I have no idea who it was, but I head up the hill, and he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I should have stopped up there. And I'm like, yeah, you should have stopped up there. Sorry for getting snappy about it, but that's kind of freaking ridiculous. And he was, apologetic all over himself. But, because of situations like that, sometimes we need traffic control, and, it's kind of dangerous out there sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That's the cool thing about that road, because everybody kind of knows what's going on. But, people have to know the wrecker's coming. Even though there was a lane open at Coldfoot, it's like...
It's not going to be open the rest of the winter.
Yeah.
At some point, something's going to change.
Yeah. And you, in the back of your mind, whether there's a lane open or not, you're still going to creep down there and make sure that...
Well, like I said, I don't know how fast he was going. I just seen him come out of the fog, and he was in a panic.
Yeah, he was going too fast.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to get run over.
Oh, man, that's got to be a dangerous job at times.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, we're out there by ourselves in the middle of the night and, do what we can to put out signage, but, it all falls back on the calling out deal. Drop off every hill and go around every corner like you're going to find the road blocked, and you'll do fine. Calling out, it gives everybody a false sense of security, and it's not good. So, communication is one thing when you're looking at somebody and want to tell them something. Just calling out into the dark, saying, here I come.
That's the difference.
Not good.
Yeah, you can communicate with somebody, but the calling out thing,
Yep.
You're just talking to nobody.
Yep.
But there is, the ice cut or whatever in the fog or whatever, but you still you drive like the road is blocked, even when you call out.
Well, you probably remember how it used to get at 25-mile corner. A normal person drops off there easy, where you can get stopped. We'd hang a little bit out to the middle when you're going around the corner, and then that way, if you met anybody, you just drift to the right, and your trailer's not in, and everybody just meets.
Yep.
The guy going north is hanging out over the frickin' edge to get traction. I've met 100 trucks in that corner, and it ain't a problem. But then everybody started calling out, and a southbounder calls out, and a northbounder says, I'm on my way. I'm heading up around the corner. So then the southbounder tries to stop. Or the southbounder calls out, and the northbounder, oh, yeah, I'm down here, and they try to stop. That was always so slick, right above that 25-mile corner, that you couldn't stop if your life depended on it.
Yep.
Because 30 trucks had stopped there because they're yammering on the frickin' radio that they're coming into a corner that's wide enough for 3 trucks to meet.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Then you're slicking the corner up. And
Oh, it would get so slick.
Yeah, then you're trying to make the corner.
Uh-huh.
It's like you're right where you need the traction, and everybody's slicking the hill up.
Yep. So, yeah.
Just like right above the switchback on the pass. Guys will stop there coming south.
Oh, yep.
When you're going to be in your pulling gear before you hit the corner.
Yep. Yep, there's plenty of room to meet there. Yeah, you meet on the wrong side of the road, swap lanes, but don't stop.
Yeah.
Keep frickin' moving. Don't meet on the bridge at the bottom.
Yeah.
But from the waterfall down, you can see if anybody, you can time it where you're not going to meet somebody on the bridge.
Yeah.
Getting a run at the pass is a waste of time, but let them do it. Don't meet on the bridge.
Yeah.
I don't even mind meeting on a bridge. I think I've met on every bridge on the road, but it's not ideal.
It gets a little hairy on Neuterwick, but...
Yeah, Aaron's like, don't meet him on that bridge. I met 2 trucks on that bridge.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it all day long.
It was tight.
It's
but we
not
made it.
ideal.
Yeah.
You try to avoid that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it is possible.
It is timing, though. It's like what you keep saying. It's all about timing.
Well, that's the thing. It's like guys just want to be flat out all the time and then slam on the brakes. Like, just back out a little bit. And like if you're coming off the pass, just let somebody come up around there, or vice versa. If you're just a little bit of timing, you don't need to just slam on the brakes and slick everything.
And
up.
the northbounder can help with the timing too, because there is hills you need to run at. A lot of people don't realize how steep Prospect is till you're 180,000. Mackey, there's a freaking steep spot in the bottom that you do need a little run for. Ice cut, you need a little run for. A run for the pass, it's a waste of time.
Even like Terry or Lonnie and Terry had all that horsepower. It's like running at that hill never mattered.
Nope.
You're still in your pulling gear.
Yep. It don't make any, like I say, a few of them. Mackie, you're still in your pulling gear. But if you stick it in the pulling gear in the bottom of the dip, it's steeper down there. You've been heavy up there.
That's very steep.
When you get heavy, there's some hills that are like, I didn't know this was a hill.
Oh man, I think Dwayne went by us that one night, and I had a TEG tanker, and it was like I was chained up. We chained up in the yard in town. It was freezing rain, but I think Dwayne actually chained up that night for Mackie. But I remember getting up there, it's like I was spinning. It's like I was just barely on the throttle. It's like, am I gonna? Then that thing sloshed on me, and it's like, yeah, that is steep down there.
Uh-huh.
That's why everybody's got a Mackie story.
Yeah, the Mackie stories are farther down the hill than you would think.
Yeah.
And there's something about Mackie. They end up way out in the trees.
Man, there was one the other day. It's like, I think that's a truck out there. He was way out there.
He got out on his own.
I heard that.
He dug out with a shovel.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll bet you he doesn't do that again.
Yeah, he's got a Mackie story.
Yeah, he's got a Mackie story.
I'd kind of like to hear it.
I don't know
who that was.
if I have a Mackie story.
You probably always hit the bottom pretty good.
No, I go slow. I drive slow.
You put it in your, you put it in the low side on before you get up to
I drive slow. Yep.
Oh.
So,
Well,
I do, does it seem like to you back in the day, people helped out a lot more than they do now?
It was second nature. It's, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't. I can't wait to help somebody because I know I'm going to be on the receiving end of it, and it's kind of a bad precedent to start out not helping people because when you need help, that's going to hurt because people don't forget.
Yep. I remember one night, Shanky and I were taking a load up there. He was hooked to it. It was some kind of tow away unit, heavy. It's like 20,000 pounds tail heavy. And I was his pull truck. And we'd just stop before the hill and hook up a freaking strap. And up the hill we'd go. And dropping off a finger, he broke a rocker arm. You remember when Caterpillars would make maybe one or two trips where they broke a rocker arm? Well, he broke a rocker arm. And I went over to Canute and dropped my load. And we shoved his truck and that pull out at the bottom of finger, that APL. And I hooked onto the load, and he caught a ride south, and I headed north. And I'm just like, I don't know how this is going to work. And I remember, a lot of trucks passed us and whatnot, and we struggled our way over to the knob. And I stopped in the chain-up area, hung 2 sets, and I dropped down through the deal, and I'm heading for the knob, and there's a truck over there at the bottom of it with these backup lights on. And I'm like, you okay over there, Northbound? And I was in a green and white truck, and over there was Burley in a red and white truck with 2 sets of chains on, waiting to drag me up the hill.
Wow. Really?
Wow.
And that's how it used to work. Yep. And he drug me up the freaking knob, and I don't remember how we got the rest of the way. I think I met another Linden truck at the pass or something, but...
So he must have heard on the radio what was going on.
Oh, he had passed me. He knew what
okay.
was going on.
Oh, okay.
So, that's just what people used to do back in the
Wow.
day. And now they're racing their E-log and can't help you freaking change a taillight bulb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Because you probably wouldn't have made it by yourself.
I have no idea. Probably not.
But having that little bit of help really helps.
Yep. So,
Man, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I helped. I remember that I'd heard how the knob was that day, but it was like 32 degrees, and I got over there, and they said it was 32 degrees, but sand all over it. And I got up there, and I spun out right on the bottom, and it was like I could see the sand down there in the ice, but I couldn't get to it. By the time I was done, I had 2 sets and a steer chain on, and Larry Sunford had broke his rear end up there. I can't remember if he had a 5-axle trailer, but I ended up, and I went up there and hooked onto him and got him to the top of the hill somehow. I don't even know how, because he probably only had, well, I don't remember how it worked, but we got him to the top of the hill. But yeah, we were working for different companies.
Yep. Yep, it didn't matter who you worked for.
Yeah, because you never know when you're going to be on the receiving end or not.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's cool. I miss that.
Yep. Yep. It's just different world now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can kind of start bringing that back around slowly but surely.
You two are working on it.
Yeah, trying to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
bring back make the Hall Road great again, right? Didn't
Yep.
somebody say that once?
That was Todd, wasn't it?
Yeah, good old T Powers. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the Power Hour.
I think I seen something the other day. They're calling him something different now, but I don't remember what it was.
Hey, did you see that picture of him with that huge
Yeah.
hat?
Yeah, what did it say on the hat?
I think it was Easy Money or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what they're calling him.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see that picture of him?
Easy money.
Oh, man, he looks good.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to look into that.
Did you ever pull Todd Powers out of the ditch?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I think I've towed a broken truck maybe that he was driving, but
No.
man, I'd probably tell on him. Let me think. That's one thing. I have a hard time remembering anything.
Yeah. It all kind of blends together up there.
It all blends together.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, like I've probably spun out on every hill up there, but I just don't remember.
Yeah.
I remember I used to spin out southbound on the pass a lot when I was a company truck because the two alternate managers up there liked to cram all the LTL into one van for the company truck to pull home because the owner operators got paid for it. So they thought they were saving money by putting it all in the van for the company truck. This was way back when. And, late in the day, some big heavy chunk of something comes in and they plop it down right in the back of the van.
Oh, man.
So you always learned what you had. If it was really bad, you'd learn coming up out of Chicken Run.
Wow.
But,
Have you spun out there?
oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When you're good and tail heavy, oh yeah. But the pass, right up by the gun mount, is where you learned what kind of trip you were going to have going home.
Oh, man.
Because you didn't have no idea what was in there. The paperwork says one thing, but
Yeah.
you don't know where it is, or they kind of guess at the weight. And it was, then if you had a good time on the pass, then north side of the Koyaka could be an adventure, and Beaver Slide and Finger, but the pass was the proving ground. So I spun out there a lot.
I think that's the only Linden facility without a scale in Prudhoe.
It seems like they had a scale on a forklift. I'm sure they do it. It's not the same now. That was back when there was two company trucks because things were slow. It was, for a long time, it was just, it was Trapper and Shanky and me after Dick went back down on the highway, and then it got real slow. And it was just me and Shanky. I don't remember what Fred was doing. He must have been down on the pavement or something.
I think he was doing the switch for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, maybe he was. But yeah, it was slow for many years up there.
Wasn't that him and Lenny and Dick?
And
Wasn't there
Dick.
3 switches for a while?
Yeah. So,
That's 20 years ago, I guess.
but yeah, I have no idea how they do it now. It's just back then, they like the company trucks to haul the backhauls because, and then send the empty trailers with the owner operators. Just, made financial sense.
Yeah.
But it also made it a challenge when there was 10,000 pounds come in at quitting time and it was in the back of your trailer.
That's quite a difference going south with a load.
It's completely different.
People don't realize how tough it can be going home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. I was, with this LNG thing starting, it's like I've been watching a lot of these hills. It's like, man, they don't quite take care of the hills the same that way going south just because there's less guys doing it,
Oh, are they running steady now, or?
I don't know if it seemed like it's been two a day here for the last few days.
So it's kind of steady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, they must not be having troubles because I haven't heard anything.
the road's been really good the last week or so.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, Dad and I barefoot everything coming back. So,
Oh, and that's what you're doing.
yeah, Dad and I are helping those guys out. So,
Okay.
so that'll be interesting.
I guess you got to go to work in the morning, don't you?
I do got to go to work, but it's not too late yet. You got another couple hours?
Phone hadn't rang, but I haven't bored you to death yet.
Well, I'm just kind of curious. It's like, how long did your wife tell you had to do this?
What episode is this?
This is, well, we were just did 36, episode 36 with Josh Fisher.
Probably since 6, maybe. Since you started saying stuff, she's like, "You need to do that." I don't. I'm good.
I haven't really asked you, but I feared she's probably been hounding you quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the final straw, I found out tonight that she had just found out where your shop was because somebody told her, "I'm going to have a chat with that lad."
It wasn't me.
Yeah, he knows who he is. Because she was going to bring you this hat. Just freaking rub it a little more. Finally, like, fine, dear, I'm leaving.
And it wasn't that bad, was it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I probably won't watch it.
It's funny when I ask different guys, it's like, "Oh, what do you think of your episode?" They're like, "Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it."
Do I really sound like that?
It's a lot different when you're watching yourself talk all the time. It's like when I'm editing these videos and I'm talking, I'm like, "Oh, just shut up already." Why do you say that?
Well, I did a podcast it's been 10, 12 years ago, but it wasn't video. It was just voice only. And I listened to it, and I was like, man, that was awful.
Well, this style of podcast they're calling it vodcast now, or video podcast.
Okay, well, that was just...
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was it even a pod? Yeah, it was a podcast. But,
What was the name of that podcast?
man, I just don't remember.
Yeah, you can't remember it right now?
It was something about winter driving tips.
Oh, okay.
But that guy...
With the Toe God, or what do they title that as?
I don't remember. What was the name of his... I forget. He hung it up a couple years ago. And he's not doing podcasts anymore. But he did for, I don't know, probably 5, 10 years. But he was in... Actually, I went and had dinner with him when I was in Kansas City in wrecker school. I think
He's from out of state?
Yeah, I think he's from Missouri. Maybe. Yeah, he was from out of state. He somehow talked me into it because we had just been online friends from me listening to his podcast, and we had a chat group, and I don't know,
So how long did that take for him to talk you into that?
a couple years.
Oh, okay. So I'm doing better.
Oh yeah, you're way quicker than he was.
Because you had us scheduled for like 2039, I think. So the last thing you told me.
Yeah, but I couldn't take.
What was weird? He
I couldn't
scheduled
take it
several times, wasn't it? We're like Tuesday at 11:59 for 5
Yeah,
minutes.
but you guys never showed up. You have no idea how many times I was here and the door was locked. I about got out of it tonight. Apparently, the gate was shut.
Yeah.
I called ahead.
Yeah, Aaron calls me. He's like, "Kevin wants to interview." I was like, "What?"
Is that what you said?
I said, you got 5 minutes. Get in this car. Let's go.
Like, I gotta put my pants on. Yeah. Well, we finally did it, Kevin,
Yep, you got it done.
and we thank you for coming on and sharing some stories. And maybe next time we'll have you come in with someone else, and maybe they'll help you remind you of some stories that you may have forgotten about.
You know, while you guys were, I didn't realize this was a 2-hour setup. I figured you threw a tablecloth out and got her done. But while me and Benny were visiting, while you were setting up, he reminded me of a lot of things over the years that I had just, that guy can remember stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
And just for the record, this was the fastest we've ever set up.
Man, this is quite a production. I had no idea.
We've put a lot of time into this.
And do you like the tablecloth?
Well,
Should we change it up?
no, it's, you need to get one piece rather than this seam.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for donations for that.
Yeah. Keep it. Doesn't YouTube pay?
We have not made any money doing this.
I thought there's a lot of YouTube channels I watch because regular TV's boring.
We don't have enough subscribers. So
you're not like making money like Cletus McFarland?
no.
Really?
Most of the people that watch this, I think, are truck drivers that don't have email or don't know how to subscribe. So it's like there's probably enough views, I guess. We're just a bunch of truck drivers. We don't know what we're doing.
And Aaron and I didn't want to do this, but there was a need to do this because there's I'm a new guy. There's a lot of new people up there that they haven't learned from the old timers. And I mean, Aaron and I are kind of a different story because our dad, we grew up in this world.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why we're doing this, to kind of help educate and share that safety stuff, but then capture the history too. But, a lot of these old guys have all these cool stories, and it's like, we don't need to be reinventing the wheel here. Let's just learn from what they did and their screw ups, and let's try not to screw up and chain up and go about our day.
I wanted the history, and it's like we've had 3 people pass away that I've had on my list since we started this, and it's like a lot of my mentors and people I learned from are gone, and it's like, man, I'm like you, I'm starting to forget what they said, and it's like they poured so much into us kids doing this. It's like I feel like we're trying to honor what they did for us, but people don't respect learning from their elders anymore, and it's like there's you can have all the knowledge you want, but until you have that experience to go with that knowledge, it's not going to work. And it's like, I think you're probably even finding that out a little bit. I've poured some knowledge into you, but you're having to go out there and experience it now.
Yeah.
It really, once you get the experience, like, oh, okay, that clicks, that makes sense what we're doing now.
That's what happened to me on Tulik that night when I was in that drift. I was like, I should have listened to you, Dad. The wind's blowing.
There you go.
And he says, when the wind's blowing up your skirt, it's tough out there. He's just going on and on.
I just can't imagine Dad in a skirt.
It's funny that I don't know why all the old guys say that. Well, I do now because the wind's blowing up your shirt. It's not your skirt, but I think he's just trying to be funny a little more, over exaggerate a little bit more. Can you imagine guys wearing kilts up there?
I've seen somebody in one not that long ago. But I think a lot of your videos will be, when you're old and hanging out on the porch telling the little kids to get off your lawn. Some of that you'll enjoy watching because it's your family history.
Yeah.
You're saving stuff that a lot of us have forgot and lost. Like you say, you don't have any pictures from up there. Nowadays, there's a lot of pictures.
Yeah, back then it's like you were probably the same way at Linden, but we had those Kodak disposables in the glove box. That was our accident camera.
That's those right there.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, the pictures I got were from you remember seeing those Kodak cameras?
Yeah.
They were accident kits. And you don't have an accident kit in the truck anymore.
No.
Because everybody's got a phone.
You got a cell phone. But yeah, I brought a couple pictures. That's
the truck he was talking about. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's one where it's clean. Oh, that.
But yeah, that's
awesome.
what we had was pictures.
That's at the shelf, too, isn't it? Oh, that's the old Gobblers Knob sign.
Yep.
Where's that sign at? Did someone steal that? Gobblers Knob, Prospect.
Well, that's one of your first trips, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the truck say on the
K&W.
sleeper? K&W? No, it was, let me think. Was it K&W first or Linden? I don't remember. I had like 3 signs and a different company on each side of it, so whoever gave me a load.
Things were different back then. People jumped around a lot back then, it seemed like, just wherever the work was at.
Yeah, I think at K&W, Carlisle, which were the same thing, but it depended on what you were doing. Linden, Big State, my own. Seemed like I had sourdough sign, but I don't think I ever pulled a load for him. And I don't remember. 1 or 2 other ones that I'm not thinking of. Like you say, I don't remember nothing.
Oh, man.
So, yep.
That's awesome.
I'll have to go get the scanner.
Scanners at
Yeah,
the
I
house.
That's what the wife and kids came north in. That was the summer before I headed up here.
Oh, wow.
That's from my logging days.
An old Lance.
This, I've got a lawsuit filed on
camper.
that one for copyright infringement.
Wait, what did you just say about that picture?
Somehow it got out to the general public.
Could you talk into the microphone for that one?
It got out to the general public, and it was not supposed to be released.
Uh-oh.
How'd that happen?
Is that the picture that you said? I like that picture. And I think it was I don't even think it was that picture, but you said, let's put that in there.
I did.
Somebody the other day sent that to me and said, you know who this is? And I said, I have no idea. He said, well, I heard it was you. And I said, what are you talking about? That dude's skinny and good looking. It can't be me.
I told a few people about put that picture of you in there. They were like, where was that at? I showed them the pictures like, that's Kevin?
Is that a Freightliner or Kenworth?
That's Freightliner.
So that was my second winter trucking. My first winter trucking, I was in a Kenworth cab over.
Oh, wow.
So
I got a big spool on this one here.
Yeah, it's a medium-sized one.
that's a baby spool.
I was joking. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's backhaul.
Now look at all this hay. You probably had to stack all this hay, huh? In the snow. No
Yeah,
doubt.
in the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to feed a lot of cows in the wintertime.
And then you got some logs here. You're pulling them with the old. Is that an old John Deere tractor or what is that?
That's actually a Golden Jubilee. That was just before I left Oregon. I went and got those to build a corral over at my grandpa's place. We picked those up, and I hauled them over to Central Oregon to build a corral that I never built because I left for Alaska.
Oh man.
But that tractor, I went and picked it up last spring, and it's now at my house. I'm going to refurbish it.
Oh, you have it up here?
Yeah, Grandpa bought it brand new.
That's awesome.
And that's how I learned to drive, was on that tractor.
Oh, really?
And I brought it up this spring from Oregon.
A lot of good memories with that tractor, huh?
Yeah. And he passed away, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, but...
That's cool. So you got a part of him with that tractor now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you're wearing the same shirt. Are you wearing the same shirt?
Nah. No, I probably got a Hickory
I think
shirt on that other one.
I think it's the same boots, though.
Oh, they were some cool boots, buddy. You know you've hit it big trucking when you got gold tips on your cowboy boots. That's how you know. I mean, everybody says it's a chain drive wallet, but it's the boots.
We're just Alaska kids. We don't know that stuff from
Yeah.
down there.
You know what's weird is it seemed like I ran down there forever, and it was literally 3 winters. The first 2 winters I ran around Oregon, Washington, Idaho, hauling lumber. And then the third winter, the owner of the company that owned the truck, he had a ranch, and I worked on the ranch, but there wasn't anything to do in the winter, so in the wintertime I'd truck. But his general manager decided I could make more money, or they could make more money with the truck if I was dispatched through them instead of going through a broker over on the other side of the mountain. Well, the first 2 trips, they sent me to L.A., and I took the truck back and parked it in front of the shop, and my wife gave me a ride home. I was done with that. But it's weird back then how long I mean, it seemed like I trucked down there forever, and it was literally 3 winters. And then I went to hauling logs, and then I moved to Alaska. So I don't know why I have so many memories of trucking down there.
Because you had a memory back then.
Yeah, well, like that one. I was hauling potatoes out of Montana. And I remember doing that a ton, and I literally did it 3 times. It's crazy. I mean, I've been to Prudhoe Bay, 2,500 times?
Yeah.
And it all blends together. And I remember those potato haul out of Montana, every mile of it, and I did it 3 times. So
That's
getting old is something else.
Yeah, it is it's something else. That looks like...
Part of the reason I might remember the potato thing is because my wife reminds me of it every time I stumble. She went with me one trip, and we got loaded up and pulled into a rest stop, went to bed, and I was freaking tired, and, back when you didn't really know what a logbook was, and slept a few hours and got up, and I needed to take a leak and opened the door and stepped out of the truck and missed the step and ended up on my face in the weeds.
Oh, man.
Ever since then, you remember that song "Meet Me in Montana"? Every time I stumble, she says, "Won't you meet me in Montana?"
That's hilarious.
That's pretty
cool.
That truck looks like Jerry Coghill had a truck like that.
Which
That's
one's
a little
that?
different, though, isn't it?
That's the truck I headed to Alaska in. That was a 95 Freightliner. I bought it summer of 94. Got Peerless bunk equipment put on it and headed for Alaska. That might be the first load that was ever put on it.
Huh.
So I hauled logs for 3 years, and then I put a Kenworth sleeper on it and a Peterbilt fuel tank. And
I thought you were living in Glen Allen for that, but
yep, we lived in Toke. She lived in Toke for 1 year. And then we lived in Glen Allen up on the hill for probably 9 months. And then for the next 2.5 years, we were there by the Toke cutoff.
So you said you were in Chittenden that 1 year. Were you in Chittenden working?
Hauling logs out of Chittenden.
Oh, okay.
Just across the bridge. We were up in the woods there hauling logs out of there. We'd go there in the wintertime because it was warmer. A little tough to log in Toke,
Yeah.
Dot Lake, and places like that in the wintertime. So they'd go to Chittenden. And then in the summertime, we'd haul out of Toke and Delta and Dot Lake and that area.
They don't log down there anymore, do they? I mean, that kind of went away.
There's just, it costs so much, there's not a market for it. When we were doing it, the saw logs were going to Japan and the pulp was going up to Colombia.
Oh, wow.
And prices were up, but then prices got down, and I mean, it's just not cost effective, so there's really not that much of it now.
They almost would have to be on the coast to make that pencil out, probably, I would think.
Yep.
That was probably fun for a while, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think since 97 there's been any logs hauled into Valdez. So it's been...
Seemed like I knew a
Been a
bunch
year
of
or
people
two.
that was doing that. Seemed like Kelly Moore and Mike Farmer. And
I actually met Kelly Moore. I was hauling into Prineville when I was thinking about doing this, and the truck I found was over in Pendleton? LeGrand. And Kelly was running a Freightliner for a company down there that was fairly new. And I met him at the log loader in Prineville, and I walked back there and said, "Hey, what do you think of this truck?" And he said, told me about it. He said, what are you up to? And I said, "I'm thinking about buying a truck and heading for Alaska." And he was like, "What?"
oh, really?
And we stayed in touch, and I got up here and got him the contact stuff, and then that's when he bought that old yellow Kenworth and came up.
Wow. Has he ever paid you back for all that? I could hit him up.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where he's at now since he moved away a long time ago. But yeah, like I say, Dwayne knew a guy named Dan, and Dan followed Dwayne up here, and I followed Dan, and then Kelly followed me he came up with another guy, but that guy only stayed like 6 months. And so yeah, me and Kelly ran together a lot we both worked for the same logger when we were hauling out of Delta, when we started pulling a pup and hauled down there. And then we all ended up here when it ran out, so.
Well, it's funny. I got two people that complain about this tablecloth, and that's you and Kelly. So.
Oh, you know where Kelly is?
Yeah, he's pulling a tanker. He's out of, I think he lives around Dallas,
Oh,
but I think he's hauling out of Iowa into Austin for that Tito's.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
pulling
I
a
didn't
tanker.
know where he ended up. I know Lonnie used to talk to him once in a while, but
Yeah, they were in the shop for quite a while together.
yeah. So you got him cornered, did you?
Well, I talked to him occasionally on the phone. So
No, with the tablecloth.
I don't know if I can't remember if he was giving me a hard time. I was trying to stir things up.
Oh, you didn't get him in for an interview.
No, I'm trying to get him to come back to Alaska, but
Oh.
he's scared. It scares him up here.
Well, the last one was his second round. He was here in like the 80s or something.
Yeah.
And then he came back in the 90s, and he's been gone for 20 years, hadn't he?
He come up looking at a truck here a few years, well, maybe 10 years.
Oh.
I don't know. Time's kind of flying by. I guess I'm not really sure, but
Yeah.
it's funny. His name has come up a few times. So
Yep.
he's fun to mess with.
But yeah, I think Gary Huff was down there for a little while.
Oh,
for a
he
day
was
or
too?
two, hauling logs. Yeah. I think he was here and he went down there hauling. He didn't come up from somewhere for that job. But I'm trying to remember. Do you remember? Oh, Richard. They called him Chewbacca.
Oh,
Richard Flansburgh.
yeah.
He was down there. That's where I met him. I think he lived in Wasilla, and then he moved to Valdez, and he was hauling logs into there. Yeah, I knew him from the day I started down there. We were good friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sad the way he passed away there.
Yeah, that was one of my tougher recoveries there.
You
have that to deal with. So, yeah, the troopers were there in their helicopter, but they said they couldn't extract. So then they left, and we had to roll that truck over. And I remember, like I say, I can't remember names. Who's the old guy you had in here the other day that you said maybe had a cuss word or two?
Oh, Dwight Busby.
Yeah, he was there. And I remember we took the sleeper curtain and wrapped him up in it, duct taped him to the seat, and I hauled him to town.
Wow.
So deals like that are a little tough because I'd known him for a long time, but gave him his last ride. Yeah, I remember back then you didn't have any service up there anywhere, but I came over 28 Mile and my phone was blowing up with the troopers and wondering where I was because had to go to the trooper station and the fire department made me there to extract him. I was like, guys, I'm not going that fast. Looking in the mirror, remember how he had real long hair? It's back there flapping in the breeze, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting in any big hurry. Sorry, boys. So,
wow, that's kind of intense.
yeah, things like that are a little tough. This, the fatality accidents and people but anyhow, yeah, he was down there in Valdez. And do you remember Dwayne Love?
That sounds familiar too.
He hadn't been here in probably 20 years, but he was down there. He come up out of Sweet Home, Oregon. I remember I swung through there on my way north and picked up some stuff for him and hauled it up here. And there's a lot of guys that were on that log haul down there. I think it was must have been 94 through 97. But, so.
My brain's still working. I didn't really know much about it, but.
Well, you were probably pretty young then. I was only 26, 27 years old when I came up.
When was that?
94.
Yeah.
You're a little younger than me, aren't you?
Yeah, I was working at food services then, but I was just a teenager.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I started Las Quest in 97.
Oh. So you started there the year I started up here.
Yeah.
But you started in the yard, didn't you?
Yeah, I had my CDL. They wouldn't let me drive for a little while. I had to wait a few years. But man, I was ready. Let's do this. I still get excited. But
It's a different road every trip, right? Different adventure, I should say.
yeah, even for the recoveries, it's different every time. You don't get bored, and it's like I feel that way trucking up there, which it's less and less, but I don't know. I get bored driving anywhere else. I need some excitement. But kind of a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, I guess, when it comes to some of that stuff, maybe.
I remember when you had your green truck.
Uh-oh.
There wasn't much that'd stop you. You were adrenaline. The deeper the drifts, the happier you were.
Yeah, that bumper pushed a lot of snow.
Yep. Of course, back then we all were, Like I said, I never judged a hill by if I could get up it or not. It was if I was going to slide back down it. I mean,
there is a lot of calculations too. I wasn't being reckless, but it's like there's a lot of calculations. Can I do this? It's like I'm pretty sure I can. But it's the same thing. You don't want to get yourself. If this does go bad, you don't want to be sliding off the road. Or I've only got 2 different instances of sliding off a hill. It's like I never took chances that way. I'm kind of the same as you. It's like I knew I could hold it. So, but sometimes it's just easier to chain up at the bottom. It's a lot less stress. Why go up there and you just have to? But that is an experience thing. You have to. You can have all the knowledge, but you got to have the experience to know what you can do with, your equipment and the load and everything. So, that's huge. You talk about being 20,000 tail heavy. That's one thing, if you're hooked to a tanker, even though you're heavy, you got your driver.
It's in the right place.
Yeah.
Yep.
It takes some of the thinking out if that's all you've ever done. But if you're hooking onto a different load or you're coming out of Prudhoe like you're saying, man, every trip is
different.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was always a challenge to get to Prudhoe before 6 a.m. When we were running overnight LTL, you get out of town 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Well, the goal was to be there by 6 a.m. Well, you know what a lot of nights the pass looks like after midnight. Once you get north of the river, you're all alone.
Yeah.
Back then, and there was nobody else out there, so it was all on you. And it was challenging and exciting, but then as you get older, it just gets to be a pain in the neck.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're fixing everything yourself. You have to do whatever you can to keep that truck moving. It's different now. It's different.
Yep. Sounds like somebody's waking up.
Yeah.
What do you think? You want to?
Well, you probably need to. You got to get ready to go trucking yet.
Yeah, I got to hit the road.
Well, I hope it doesn't take you as long to take this down as it did to put it up. You'll be late tomorrow.
It's going to take a while, but you know what? Your phone still hasn't rang yet, right, Kevin?
I'm not sure. I put it on vibrate. Nope, we're good. Got one email. We're golden.
Good. We might as well keep going.
Well, it's up to you.
What else you got to talk about?
Let's just sit here for a minute and see how quiet we can be.
Was that Benny?
That's Benny. You got any good stories about Benny?
No, we got lots of stories.
I don't care, and we can wrap it up. I just thought it'd be funny to say that, and then that was a good conversation,
Nathan's got. Well, we both do. We got all these one-liners with everybody. Yeah. It's.
Well, there must be one with the tablecloth. I'm not. Have I said something about the tablecloth?
Oh,
that's an
we'll
inside
put all the
joke.
text on here.
Oh, those are copyrighted, just like that picture.
You're our number one critic.
Well, I know I mentioned things like tanks and hood latches, and I should have let you keep the garbage bag hanging out the door.
We're just trying to represent you well.
That stuff's important. I don't know if you could get that wrecker in here. Might be too.
I can get that wrecker anywhere if I get a run at it.
Well, next time you come on, you'll have to bring the wrecker on.
Yeah, it weighs 60,000 pounds. It'd go right through that.
Yeah.
Does it really weigh that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, like 57.5, I think, full of fuel. It's 40 on the drives and like 17 on the steer.
You probably kind of need the weight for doing that recovery stuff, don't you?
That thing plants good. Yep. The other tri-drive, the Freightliner, it weighs like 50, and you can tell a difference. The heavier you are, the better it plants.
Yeah.
So does a tri-drive really help, or is that just a necessity for the weight?
On that last one, it would be touch and go whether it was legal or not, empty. Loaded, it doesn't matter. It's, the weight is exempt. But empty, it makes a difference. But loaded, you're not only lifting, like let's say if we towed this truck right here, you're lifting 10,000 pounds, when you lift the tail of it. But you're also transferring 6, 7, 8,000 pounds off the steer axle because the underlift sticks out the back 8 feet. So you're getting the teeter-totter effect. So you need to be heavy on the front to keep the front end down once you're loaded. But that truck's like 55 to 57,000 pounds on the drivers when you're loaded. You can do that with a tandem, but it's a night and day difference how it handles, like frost heaves. With a tandem, you're porpoising, the front end's coming up, and you got to slow way down. With the tri-drive, it's like driving down the road empty. You don't even know there's a truck behind you. It is just huge. And the traction, you've ran tri-drive, haven't you?
Yeah. 2 years.
It is insane. Like, go down to 321 on the Parks and drag a set of doubles up the hill. Old Blue with a tandem, I had to hang 2 sets of 8 mils to drag a set of doubles up that hill. Most of the time now, I can do it barefoot with that tri-drive.
Really?
It is just amazing. The weight and the tri-drive, they will just climb a freaking tree. If I was specking a truck out to run north today, that's probably what I would order. I think Alaska West has got more of them on the road now, and they're figuring out the financial side of it. But just for the ride and the traction, and even if it didn't make financial sense, that's what I'd have. You know, I imagine in another 5 years, they're going to have a lot of data, you know, tire wear and brakes and maintenance and, you know, everything that goes in it. They're going to have the data to say whether it's the way to go or not. But as far as the guy behind the steering wheel, yeah, that's the way to go.
Well, even when you're empty. I remember one time I got out of tri-drive for a trip. They had to work out in the shop or whatever, and just bringing a tanker over the pass. It was like, when this hill gets so slick, and it was like, oh, that's the difference of the tri-drive. Mm-hmm. But it was funny, the super trucks with twin steer, they did not do very good empty, pushing that extra steer axle.
Oh.
But it's like, tri-drive is amazing. I've really been thinking about that.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I asked Kyle the other day, I mean, he ran the old Peterbilt for, I don't know, let's say a year, and then he ran Old Blue for 6 months or something. And then I got the new truck, came in, and he's been in the tri-drive Freightliner for 9-10 months now. And I asked him the other day, because there is drawbacks. It don't steer that good, especially when you're loaded, like intersections and stuff. You got to pay attention or you blow out and hit a freaking telephone pole. There's drawbacks. But I said, you ran this, and now you're running this. You know which would you want? And he's like, take the tri-drive all day long. There's no comparison. The way it handles, the way it rides, the way it tows, as far as with the tow truck. You can get by with a tandem, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that too. If I was doing lowboy work again, it's like the lift axle thing, it just seems like a waste to me. It's like, man, if I'm going to have another axle down, I want to be pulling.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's amazing what they'll do.
Yeah. I never realized you were that heavy towing, but it makes sense that you'd be that heavy. Yeah. Yeah, you got all the traction you'll ever need.
Yeah, you kind of chuckle up there, and even he does. I mean, he just got his CDL when he started for us. We went to the school and got his CDL. He'd been around the trucks his entire life, but even him, he chuckles. You know, you're coming, you know, this side of Coldfoot. Oh, you're going to have to hang a set for the beaver slide. It's, you know, everybody's struggle busing. 2 sets can't get up the hill. We're 55,000 on the drives, dragging a 14,000-pound steer axle behind us. It's like, okay.
You're almost bobtail. Or it's like a push truck almost.
Yeah, it's just, you just drive up the hill. Yeah. Now, if you ever didn't make it, it might get kind of ugly, but it's just, they're amazing, the tri-drives. So,
yeah. Man,
so,
yeah. Might have to order one tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for selling us on that.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And everyone else watching?
Especially if you were heavy haul.
Yeah.
So, yep. I think the problem in the past, I think those that Alaska West is getting here lately are lighter, aren't they? Don't they have single frame rail and kind of specced out for hauling freight instead of lowboy work?
It wouldn't surprise me. That's kind of the way them super trucks were. They'd run a 46,000-pound rear end in the front and 2 Super 40s behind it for those super trucks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that because them rear ends don't weigh that much. But I know they tried to make those super trucks light. I don't know what those are spec'd like now over there.
Because the problem in the past, I mean, you can go 13 and 38. And let's say you got a 2-axle trailer, 38. Well, a tri-drive, now you can only go 42 and 38. So you're gaining 4,000 pounds, but the truck weighs 4,500 pounds more than the tandem. So you're losing ground, and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I think they're getting them lightened up now with single frames and stuff like that. So maybe someday it's what they'll all be. Then nobody will have to chain up anymore.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. You always want somebody spun out so state's fixing the hills.
Oh, there you go.
If nobody's having problems, like, well, it's good.
Yeah, but when these guys have problems, instead of digging 8 holes, they can dig 12.
Yeah.
Job security, huh?
Yeah.
You can go rescue them.
So is Aaron the only guy you ever high marked before?
Probably. I don't. Like I say, I just don't remember. I know I have spun out on every hill up there, but I remember 2.5 because it was my second trip.
Yeah.
I literally cannot remember ever spinning out on 5 Mile, but I had to have. I know I've spun out on 9 Mile, southbound. Oh, I did high mark a tanker coming out of Dawson City. Yeah, that was fun. You ever hauled into Dawson? One time I went down there with a tanker, got on the little jet boat ferry across the river and delivered and then come back. And I think we spent the night. The next morning it snowed. And we were almost up to customs. Or it seems like there was a big corner that looped around. And yeah, there was 2 of us side by side in that corner. And I don't remember who got the high mark, but I remember it wasn't good. But yeah, I remember that one. But other than that, no, just Aaron in the middle of the night. I didn't high mark you by far, did I? We were kind of side by side, weren't we?
Well, I was trying to remember how that went with Spud, but yeah, you were far enough up there where he could get between us because it was like he was running the gauntlet. I didn't realize he stopped. I was probably outside when all that was happening.
No, you were outside, and I just, I seen you up there, and I there's room to get by, and then I seen him come around the corner because you were almost to the corner in the cut.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a pilot car. To this day, I didn't know till you just said you had a pilot car. I didn't know you were that wide.
Yeah, just 12 wide.
So if I had known that there was a pilot car on top, I would have never backed out of it, and we would have never met.
Never.
But because I was doing, you had some kind of oversized struggle bus from the beginning, I imagine, but people weren't spinning out, but I assume you were tail heavy or something. But
I don't remember. It was an aluminum boat. It wasn't that heavy, but it was just 12 wide, but I didn't have the kind of horsepower you did either.
Yeah, well, once I let my foot off the throttle to avoid a head-on, then the horsepower was probably on the wrong side.
Yeah, you lost all your momentum.
Yeah, but that horsepower, it just costs you a lot of money.
Horsepower is expensive.
It's really expensive. I wore out a lot of stuff. Not the motor, but everything else behind it is really expensive.
Yeah. I think you've towed me in a few times for that.
For horsepower?
Maybe.
But all that, it's still kind of exciting going up some of these hills with that horsepower, huh?
Yeah, it's fun.
It puts that smile on your face.
Especially
for
when
a
you got a
little bit.
Jake and a retarder and you can dive off of them at, when you're going down the beaver slide at 55, it's kind of nice holding it. But when you completely wear the splines off the ends of the axles, you realize it gets expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, literally wore the frickin' splines out of the side gears and the axles.
Oh, man.
And then when they pull them out and they're like twisted. Too much power.
I've never had that kind of power.
Uh-huh. If you say so.
We better end it on that note, huh, Aaron?
Probably.
All right, Kevin, thanks for coming on.
You betcha.
Thank you.
But just above the switch back here. You pin down the hill? You never know. A lot of snow all the way from one end of the... Well, this side, Dan, how about you? Bobby. Joe, like the best of it. Aaron, you too. Good night.
I kind of like that picture.